CEOs, what's up? It's your boy Seobsh, and I'm back with another video. And yeah, as you can tell by the title of this video, this is gonna be a spicy ass video. What do I mean by it? Well, I'm finna expose these college institutions or university or whatever. And I'm just gonna speak on my perspective in terms of the US, how their system is. I don't know about Europe, and I don't really know like how they are, because I know, like, for instance, I'll just say this real quick. You can go to med school and stuff like that when you're 18, so you can be direct with whatever you really want to do in life. It seems like it over there more so there than it is here. And like, as you can tell by the title of this video, the flaws of college that affects your mental health. This is what I want to tap. I want to like elaborate on and just share with y'all. And then at the end of this video, I'm basically just going like have my own little 2 cents, like it's going to be a bit more personal in terms of mental health. But I do feel as though that my spiel, like what I'm going to like elaborate, is most important first. So let's get into that. What do I mean like by this title of this video? Like, what is this video about? Basically, they require you to take classes that don't spark any curiosity. They sidetrack your interests. They make your grades seem valued more than your own mind. Meaning, if you don't do well in one class, then the advisors devise backup plans instead of encouraging you to keep going. Thus, in one way or another, you aren't taught to be determined, let alone able to discover that inner strength of yours. And before I continue, everyone has an inner strength that bleeds determination and focus. To reach it, you have to be tapped in with your whole self. Unfortunately, in college especially, you aren't able to do so because of all the BS that is being thrown your way. Recognize this. College is meant to be a roadmap in terms of who you want to work for. Like, based off of your degree, like what you're going into college for is basically that's like kind of like you get an idea of who you're going to work for. Meaning it's not meant for you to work for you. You're busy problem solving repetitive, non-real life, challenging problems. In other words, you aren't being prepared to problem solve who you are. You're being prepped to work for someone who took the courage and risk in succeeding. The sad truth regarding a college's definition of courage and risk is passing your courses and being deemed worthy enough of taking home a piece of paper with your name on it. That is a result of your sleepless nights, drained energy, and as well having to put your anxiety that you deal, let alone feel with every single day to the side. It's crazy too, because a lot of these institutions are money hungry. They have so much money that's being accumulated yearly, and the knowledge that is taught is the same. Each quarter, semester, whatever your term is known as, it's all repetitive. Professors are paid to teach, not to inspire. That's a sad reality. You ever wonder why so many students go seek a master's and or PhD? It's not just because they want to. A lot of the times it's due to the fact that the piece of paper they earned after their first 4 years, maybe even more, wasn't good enough to pay their bills, such as student loans. College campuses do the least amount of work in terms of making sure students feel like it's a second home where you can embrace life. It's crazy how the money students pay for loans aren't able to be paid in full the moment they've graduated. You know why? Because jobs in real life are based off of seniority. Nothing about how bright you are, unless it's in tech, and even then it's getting saturated as we speak. Medicine is another high-paying job, and guess what? Do you really want to spend another 4+ years, including residency and all that, just to use about 10% of what you learned on a daily basis? That other 90% instead could have been invested in all of you. Still can, unless, you know, that's what you want to do, which I'm not. Like, I'll get into this video a bit more later, but I'm not here to like discourage you and all that. I'm just trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? You'll understand. Also, regarding the whole medical route, please be wary that you can get a PhD in something like neuroscience whilst being a doctor and still not get paid enough, where you have to go back to do more schooling for a position that pays enough. That's bogus as fuck, respectfully. What I've mentioned above isn't meant to discourage your goals regarding education, like I just previously just mentioned briefly. It's meant to wake you up and realize that there's more to life than that piece of paper. Make sure you value yourself. Make sure you remain stern on what subject you want to explore, regardless of what that advisor says to you. Because at the end of the day, that advisor only knows you based off your grades. They don't even know the whole you. They don't know the whole you. They have the rest of the students on campus to advise as well. That's what they get paid to do. Not to cheer you on, let alone help spark that reassurance in yourself. So believe in yourself. I'm going to just say my screenshots that I usually do say first before I get into my other part of this video. Which is, make your opinion of you more important than other people's opinions of you. Say that one more time. Make your opinion of you more important than other people's opinions of you. And lastly, if it matters to you, you will find a way. I'm going to say that one more time. If it matters to you, you will find a way. So, I guess I'll just get into my whole spiel first, or like my personal spiel. So let me just say this. Me personally, for the past 6+ years, so this including high school and all that, I recently just graduated. However, until just recently being graduated, right? So 6+ years, let's just say that. I've dealt with a whole lot of mental health related problems, meaning just like anxiety, being anxious, and a lot of it in the beginning, especially in high school, was not just really like just not understanding what the fuck it was. Like all the thoughts that you might feel, like the thoughts that you have and how it makes you feel, how overwhelming it could be at times, how it could be like a roller coaster ride. One little thought could spiral into another thing, into a whole new thing, and then you're like there just spending hours, like minutes to hours, on something that's not even real or like happening right now, right? You get what I mean, right? Well, this is stuff that I had to deal with, and I'm sure you're dealing with, and I was never able to even understand at one point. I don't know if I just said this or not, but yeah, at one point I didn't even know what the fuck this was. I had no clue. And that's because I wasn't really taught on it. I wasn't really exposed to like, you know, like any self-growth, self-help type of things, because we're so busy with this education portion, which should be teaching you how to especially educate you about the human mind, educate you on like yourself. You're too busy being taught shit that, again, like I said earlier, is repetitive. Like, this is sad, bro. Like, because obviously I've taken a class before. I'm sure every student, like, if there's a class that, you know, you didn't do the best in and you wanted to retake it, I'm sure you will notice, right, and especially in college, that the material is literally the same for the most part. It's really like, this is how it is. Professor name, the syllabus, right? And then it's just, instead of autumn quarter, now it's winter quarter, right? And it's the same material. It's not really the same. And if it is different, they really use like last year's winter quarter or like 2 years. And there's always ways of finding out what the fuck is going on in regards to that. But you get my point, right? A lot of the shit that is being taught is repetitive and low-key, in my opinion, junk. Because it's like, if it doesn't help you internally, like mentally, what the fuck am I consuming? Like, what am I paying for? Like, why the fuck is a class that has nothing to do with sparking my curiosity a part like a requirement for my class, like for my major or whatever. Like, honestly, tell me. Nothing. Because guess what? Me graduated, like, and this is not even me personally speaking and being graduated. I learned this shit like in high school, like when I was in, not even high school, in college, while taking these classes. I literally had a family member that told me, literally, that she only uses 10% what she learned in medical school and all that kind of stuff on a daily basis. So how the fuck you gonna tell me that all these classes that I'm stressing about, this grade, this GPA of mine, that has to be this, like, this high or whatever, is so important that I'm only gonna use a certain amount of it at the end? I'm waiting, because like it just doesn't make sense. Does it not? It does not make sense. And I know I'm right, because I know that there's going to be so many niggas on this comment, on this. We're going to have like a thread of comments just saying, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Or they're going to share their little, or not little, but they're going to share like a little segment of their, like, what they relate to what I'm talking about. Like their own experience of the classes or whatever that they've learned, that we're told that they need to learn, and then realize that they don't even use it today or to this day. Like, honestly, it's kind of sad. And basically that's my whole point is, unfortunately, in school, you're not really able to really figure out who you are internally, your thoughts, anything regarding mental health. You're not able to really strengthen your mind until you have a peace of mind. And unfortunately, school does not allow you to have a peace of mind until you are done with it. And I find that to be bogus, because 3 months is not enough. You're spending 4+ years constantly learning, consuming knowledge that you won't use on a daily basis. That's really, in my opinion, I feel like these niggas are trying to have us sidetracked instead of figuring out who we are as a person. This is how I really feel it. Like, I'm just gonna be raw, organic, and just real with y'all niggas. I really feel like these niggas want us to just be like focused on some like bullshit ass shit, for us to not focus on us. And I feel like we are very powerful human beings. I feel like if we know what we want to do in life, we can be very successful. But because we're being thrown into a pit of bullshit and we have to deal with it, this is where our money is going to, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? It kind of like detracts us and slows us down. And I feel like a lot of us feel as though that, like, you know, okay, well, I just spent 4 years, I got to use my degree. No, let me just say this. I've previously mentioned this before. A degree is always, it's better to have a degree and not use it than need a degree and not have one. Basically, you get it? I'm gonna say that one more time. It's better to have a degree and not need to use it, or use it at all, than to need one and not have one, right? So I just feel as though that college doesn't really do a good job in terms of allowing students to fully embrace their life, to fully develop in their own life, because you're paying money to be taught shit that is not personal. It's not even taught in a personal manner, because these teachers and advisors and all that are being paid to do certain things. So there's not really a human aspect. Like, it's not like how your mom or your dad teaches you something and they add their own personal effect, because they're not getting paid to do that. Like, literally, in a sense, your parents are not being paid to teach you something, because if they were, then they would feel like they were getting paid for it. But it's never like that. It has compassion. It always has some love to it. It has some realness to it. Unfortunately, I feel as though that college fails to do that. And so this is me speaking out and just saying, like, yo, there needs to be some change, because I find it bogus that Europe over here, my niggas in Europe, you know what I'm saying, niggas in Paris, right? Anyways, niggas over there are able to like be able to go to med school at the age of 18, or like within that age requirement. So imagine if you already know what the fuck you're trying to do, and if you're trying to do medicine, you're able to go directly. But here in the US, you got to do 4 years of bullshit. to get a degree in some health. And the crazy thing is, you could do 4 years in art and still go to med school. So it's like, what am I, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a speed bump. It's a fat speed bump. And you know what I'm saying? And not only is it a speed bump in terms of what you want to do really in life, but you know what I'm saying? It's not, you're not learning real life shit. You know what I'm saying? You're learning shit that is being repeated, printed on, and like also like the history and all that kind of shit. Like, no one's teaching you how to use your money. Like, even as students, you're not being taught how to use your money. I mean, your parents might be teaching me, the ones that are teaching you, but like, if you're like me, who's like obviously first generation, who have parents that are from Africa, right? Our parents are not going to know everything that like I low-key have realized in the past few months, especially during this pandemic, which has allowed me to realize that there's more to life than school, and there's more ways of handling your money, just like how I've said previously in other videos. A savings account is really not a savings account. You're not earning money back on it. That's why you should invest, and you should learn how to gain assets. This is also another thing. Let me just end this video on this. This is why, like, I made this video in one way about mental health and how school deters you from like focusing on you, which affects your mental health. But also, this video is really also about making you realize that school, I wouldn't say is like a liability, but it doesn't teach you how to acquire real assets. You'll learn how to do that stuff on your own, or like through whatever work setting. But it's unfortunate that a lot of the shit that you can learn in terms of assets, real life shit, is already out there in terms of books. Like, you don't get to choose what kind of book you want to read or learn about. You're being given it by these people who are being paid to teach you this. That's my point. So like I said, I'm about to just wrap up this video. I feel as though that I've said a lot in this video, and I don't want to take away from the importance of this video, which is how the flaws I mentioned earlier affects one's mental health in school. And I want those who are in college, or even in high school, to be honest, I just want you to know that if you're going through some shit and you are dealing with some mental shit, like you feel so overwhelmed and your feel like your thoughts and all that, bruh, just trust me. As time goes on, once you're free from that school shit, your life gets better. You'll gain some clarity. You just got to take the time for yourself, and that's a choice of your own. All right, there's nobody's choice but yours. But I'm sure if you really want to better yourself and actually like gain a mental like just peace in that sense, you'll be able to do so, because you know what I'm saying, like I said too, if it's really that important to you, you will find a way. But how and then also that screenshot was really also just like in terms of like the advisors, don't really pay them too much mind. They don't really know your life story. They don't know your background. So when they just look at your grades and how you're doing currently in this quarter, they don't see the real you. So don't be discouraged, and don't feel like you have to switch out a major or all that kind of stuff. No, whatever you want to do it. Trust me, because at the end of the day, you'll be glad that you stuck to doing something that you wanted to do, because the opinion of you, like your own opinion, matters more than what the fuck that nigga who's getting paid money. I'm sure they're not even getting paid salary. I'm sure it's hourly. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They're getting paid to formulate an opinion that will, in one way or another, change your perspective of school or what you should do in school. But it doesn't even, like, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't better your perspective, like your inner perspective or a perspective on you. It kind of demoralizes you, if anything, when your fucking advisor says, oh, well, you should just do this instead, or we have these options for you. Like, what, nigga, I'm paying money. You better tell me the best way of how to approach this. You know what I'm saying? and don't be fucking lying to me. Be honest with me. Be like, nigga, these niggas, like, bro, honesty is way better than just giving me some bullshit ass, like, I get paid to tell you this type of answer. Like, bro, really? Like, dude, does that even feel good in your soul when you, like, tell these students, like, to do something that they really don't want to do? And I'm not saying this is all advisors, okay? This is a disclaimer. I'm not saying all professors and advisors are like this, but at the end of the day, they get paid a job to do something, and that is to dictate what you should do. Like, they're helping you, like, either they're teaching you something, you know what I'm saying, but it's not really in spite of their interest. They're teaching you something that they majored in or wanted to teach, you know what I'm saying? But it's not free material. It's not, and when I say free material, I'm saying, like, it's not material that is based on, you know, personal interest, like humane interest. It's in a workspace type of manner, and I feel like that's fucked up. I feel like they got to change that, because I feel like the younger generation, especially, like, I feel like older people say this, like, the younger people are the ones who are going to take care of us. But how the fuck are they going to take care of us if we're teaching them, if you niggas are teaching us, the young ones, some stupid ass shit that's not even going to help us elevate? Think about that. Like, why hasn't the education system shit, like, changed? Like, for real, I'm over here rambling, but I could speak about this shit for hours and hours, because I've already experienced my 4.5 years. And yeah, but I just want you to know, like, at the end of this video, I'm just gonna end it here. Believe in yourself. Don't mind whatever they say, because at the end of the day, you are you, and you only know you. They don't know you, right? And love yourself, and just realize whenever you have an opportunity just to take a breather, you're not crazy for doing so. If you, instead of hanging out with people or trying to distract yourself with these phones, just take a moment and really just, like, breathe in, breathe out. Like, just do things that, like, you were here before the technology, so realize that you matter more than this. I was on campus the other day, like, near campus at this food place, Chipotle, and this person literally, I don't know if they were on their lunch break or whatever, but they had a whole food, like a burrito, like a bowl, right? And hella salad. So I saw that green shit from them, like, I could see it through the glass. And the moment she sits down, I'm over here thinking, oh, she finna go in, because it's crazy, like, the amount of money. No, nigga, she got so happy, she started, like, she just grabbed her, she sat down, and she sat and looked at her phone instead. Like, just embrace the life that you live outside this shit, my nigga, like, for a second. That'll help your mental, too. Like, that's a little hack, all right? I don't know if niggas noticed, but on God, that's a little, like, spend less time on this shit, because it's not the best way of this, like, distracting yourself from whatever you feel inside. Like, you should never even want to distract yourself from that shit. Excuse me. Like, embrace that shit. Like, face it, embrace it, and keep it going. Anyways, that's pretty much it that I wanted to share with y'all. If you really listen to this whole video, you are a real one. And it must be relatable, because you really stuck through this whole video. I'm not even trying to ramble. I just really felt as though that I needed to get this off my chest today. And I hope it gave you a perspective. I hope it didn't discourage you at one bit. I hope it motivated the fuck out of you to stick to whatever thing you want to learn in life, or whatever you're paying with your money for school. Might as well learn it, because the main thing you're taking away from it is really problem solving. So apply whatever you're learning, like the concept, not the material, because the material is bogus. The concept. Stick to that concept. Whatever you can take away from that concept that they are teaching you in school, apply that to yourself. Apply it. Promise you, you'll go farther. You'll go farther in life than just, you know what I'm saying, consuming that shit and not really understanding or utilizing whatever you paid your money for. Don't do that. Anyways, it's your boy Shiabsha. You're a real one for staying this long. I love y'all. I hope that you've had a productive day. I hope that this video allows you to have a productive day. Yeah, a lot of ums, but I'm just like, fuck, I could speak more, but I'm just making another video another day. All right, let's stop saying ums. I love y'all. Peace. It's your boy Shabasha.